What's going on, YouTube? Woo! I think we are live. Girlfriend made snacks. She's the best. How are we feeling today? I'm chilling on our day off. We got some shit to do, but that's alright. Let's fast travel over here. See, I'm playing the Fallout 76 today. I might hop on some Fortnite. No, I already did my daily, so we'll see. Bussin'.
And it's bound to be one of the major content drops that Rush referenced before, so it should run in line with what calls like the summer and winter, I would presume. And Rush has said that he already knows exactly what the 76 patch is, saying that it's like basically we already have this all planned out, we know exactly what's coming. Remember years ago when I said we had a 5-year plan of what gets added, all that stuff. We haven't heard too much about that recently, but from this here, he already knows what the 76 patch is, and he says that our heads are going to explode when he's able to talk about it. Knows exactly what it is, but it's pretty cool, it truly is. Finally, the last paragraph just talks about kind of what the when this patch would be, and going off what they've worked out, like Gamerant has said, if there's an update every 4 to 6 weeks, and you think of like patches, and you think of the actual update themselves,
And doing decoration.
2027. But going what Rush has said, it's also kind of pushing the fact that this could be one of Fallout's biggest ever update. Like, imagine that. It's like 7-8 years down the line, we're getting the biggest ever update of Fallout 76, and it just keeps getting bigger. We've got the Wastelanders, we've got Burning Springs, and now we're getting something even bigger. But Skyline Valley as well, that's classified as a really big update. To be fair, I missed that off the list, but this is really awesome. I'm really excited for it. Let me know what you think about what John said in all of this. I'm really looking forward to it. I really like John as a creative director, I've got to be honest. I hope he's correct title there. But yeah, like I actually really like that. I feel like he does genuinely enjoy the game and he plays the game from what I see, and that's just of course that he's just pretending, but I fairly certainly enjoys it. He plays it on Xbox and stuff like that. I just like his energy. Like he seems to be part of the community.
I like that.
Whereas in other games, you don't have a clue who the director is pushing the content and all that stuff. So I'm here for John. I think he's great, and I really like his art. So yeah, let me know what you think about it down in the comments. But now that's it. I'll catch us in the next one. Take care of yourselves. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe.
Damn, we don't have much for decoration. Guess we are just building balloons. Oh, no, I guess more.
You want to file free? Hit it.
So unfortunately, this week it is not Sulfur Week my dudes. Kind of expected with a brand new Minecraft update and all, but you never know. A curveball, they curve sometimes. Speaking of curveballs, it looks like the Tiny Takeover update isn't finished quite yet. We've got one more big banger in store, and we're looking at potentially even bigger of a cave update than we first thought. Wake up, babe! Brand new preview dropped, and inside of this one, it's mob update, and
I want that.
mob update. The Tiny Takeover, obviously, was all about the baby mobs. This update, 26.20, it's still about the baby mobs. We've got the baby villagers, and in the dead of night, we've got something like a baby zombie villager, a baby zombie in all of its variants, a baby piglet, and its single variant, the squid baby and its variant, fox baby and its variant, and this time, unlike the others, the chicken, but not the baby, the adult version of the chicken. Every single mob that I just fired off and its variant has had a change to its hitbox. Alongside that, we actually have some other changes to the Hoglin hitbox as well, and the baby camels too. It's a little bit of cleanup from the tiniest takeover update of all time, and some final parity that I'm shocked they couldn't get in early. Aside from the big focus on mobs today, we have quite a few other new interesting features inside the preview, and also clouds. Discovered late at night on March 25th, the Cubiness overload continues. Oh, baby, it's happening. It's kind of funny because with this drop, the big thing that I keep thinking about, you know, with it being so texture focused and all, is a cave. But can you imagine a brand new cave with this drop? But to be honest, I feel like there should be a brand new cave with every single drop. Would be a cool way to mark at the time. And the future with a bunch of drops, you know, you could rock your favorite cave that ties into your favorite drop. But oh my gosh, we're getting a cave for this drop, it looks like. This is so good. Right here on Minecraft.net, embrace the Tiny Takeover with brand new challenges. Baby, we've got not one, but two community challenges dropped in our lap. A spring sale, Tiny Takeover content on realms,
I don't think we built
and
this
brand
here.
new DLC promoting
Oh.
Tiny Takeover.
I get that.
If you've been here, you know how it goes. Usually when we have these community events, there are two different things we need to do. The first thing that we need to do is name tag as many mobs inside of our world as possible. Obviously, this is a big tie-in to the brand new craftable name tag recipe, and then also, I guess, like, you know, love the mobs and everything like that, and don't play sprinklers down and, you know, allow them to blow up and slaughter everything. That's bad. The funny catch with this challenge is that if you want this to work, you will need to hit the like button on this video first, and then, if you haven't yet, you'll need to actually subscribe to the Waddle YouTube channel, or you're not going to be able to get the cake. So, you know, make sure you follow the rules, like these three laddies right here. I don't know, man. Thought it was weird of Mojang to do it, but look, I don't make the rules up. I just enforce them. So that challenge right there, the name tag one, is going to be our first challenge. It will debut on March 27th. The other challenge that we will need to take on involves none other than the most beautiful flower of all time, and the baby mobs. We will need to golden dandelion as many baby mobs as possible. It's not clear if you can golden dandelion, then re-golden dandelion, then re-golden dandelion, then re-golden dandelion the same mob. So, you know, undo and redo. But usually, Mojang doesn't seem to care if you hop into a creative world and pull it off there. So, you can do that too. It looks like this time around the challenge will be on Minecraft in Java in Bedrock. Now, our Golden Dandelion Challenge, that one does not begin until April 3rd. So right now, just stockpile your Golden Dandelion. It's also not clear yet if you individually need to actually participate in this challenge. But bet your $1 if you do need to, you're going to need to participate on Bedrock Edition, not Java. But I can also guarantee that when this brand new page debuts, whatever it is hasn't been revealed quite yet, it will come to Bedrock and Java alike. So definitely grab your cape. Based on the marketing, I think this cape is going to be absolutely fire. And if I had to take a guess at a single design, oh my god, I hope it's yellow with the face of the baby chicken on it. Like, dude, that would go so hard. And we don't really have a yellow cape quite yet.
This area is a hotbed of enemy activity, but we've lost connection to the uplink.
This might have been what I ended up putting on the thumbnail. I meant to do it. But wow, this tape exactly the design. That's what I'm about. Alright, so pause the game, tap on settings, tap on accessibility, and down to the second button feature. Game toggle this on, and oh my god, Mojang. Dude, you've taken 13 years to get these to Bedrock Edition, and they're actually better than how they are on Alright, so check this out. If by default, when we turn them on, our closed captions, instead of being in the top left where they were last time these were a thing, they are now in the top right. We can see here, due to the captions, they've been updated. All of the sounds now actually set to the caption, unlike they were before. Yeah, if you can recall, there was a little bit of controversy with 2 updates ago, 26.0 and then 26.10, because closed captions on Bedrock just went completely missing. Well, it seems like the devs were understandably working on making these captions even better, because wow, from all of my testing here, and you know myself, having difficulty hearing, this is a big feature, it's a big deal to me, so I've been testing it quite a bit, and it seems to be so much better than how it was before. Oh, this is great. Pause the game, accessibility, scroll back down, and inside of the view menu that will only open up when you turn on closed captions. We can change where we want our closed captions to be, and you can actually adjust the duration of how long the captions will actually show, too. So if I set it all the way up to 4 seconds, and bottom right, there in the bottom corner now, and our closed captions will actually show up for quite a bit of time, so a long caption if you want to read the caption, you know, see whatever it's trying to be communicated. Also, we've got a little arrow with the directional sounds as well. I definitely love the arrow there. Now, those are obviously from Java Edition. Non-Java Edition, hide more sounds. So you can disable things like footsteps or whatever, and then hide weather and ambient sounds as well. So you can hide just environmental sounds. So now, closed captions are on. Footsteps will show up every once in a while. I think this may be a little bit bug still. Or, you know what, perhaps it was the first I don't, maybe not. But then something like rain as well, we can go ahead and make it rain, and we're not going to get closed captions for when it is raining and stuff. It doesn't even matter. We don't really care about that sound, you know? There was quite a bit of freaking out about this whole closed captions jazz. I wish Mojang had been like, maybe a little bit more clear, but they were trying to add even more functionality to it, because man, this is such a nice addition. Closed captions. We have gone from no closed captions for 13 years to now the superior version of closed captions. Only you a fan of like a month or so. Now this preview is kind of interesting. One of the most intriguing lines inside of the preview is we found right before the technical update, so relatively halfway through the change law, the world generation. It is now possible to generate single binding redstone caves. Oh, hold on. Oh, this is so random.
Check the calibration.
Bedrock Edition. If you weren't aware, there is
Head over to the other.
single
Double time.
biome world setting. We have flat world right here anywhere you would think single biome would be, but no, it's just flat world. And instead of a preset, I mean a Driftstone Cave single file. It's not a flat world. That's something different. Checking out the rest of this menu, we have no toggle at all for generating a single biome, Driftstone Cave world specifically, and only Driftstone Cave. Looking at general, I mean, there's nothing there. It's not a multiplayer thing. It's not really a cheat setting. And then maybe it's your
Get another uplink signal coming in.
finding it.
Stay on it, team. Almost there now.
Not in the game. So this is not unusual of the Bedrock developers to have stuff that isn't really part of the game. But as you can see right here, this UI thing, usually there will be a bug link if this is related to a bug. There's no bug link right here. So this is seemingly a brand new feature they've added to the game. But this is here in full. Bedrock developers noted something added to the game on the changelog, and that it's not actually being in the game. Funnily enough, that's actually not unheard of either. Speaking of closed captions, for a second ago, closed captions initially, announced a year ago. Now obviously here, this is mirroring a functionality from Minecraft Java, where we can create a single bio world, and on Java, I mean, we can do any bio in the entire game, obviously, including Driftstone. Creating a single bio Driftstone Cave world is a little bit odd. Why in the world would you do it? I have no clue. You're probably insane or something. But if we were to do that, we end up with a world that looks something like this. The gigantic expanse of mountains, Driftstone Cave all over the surface, slide under the ground, and sure enough, under the ground we have Driftstone Cave Pod everywhere as far as the eye can see. Given that we have a brand new cave update up and coming, I think this is perhaps something bigger coming to the game involving the Driftstone Cave file. Be that brand new log, maybe at last Driftstone block that we're excited to do definitely so much better than these random blobs. It definitely seems like the developers are testing and doing something specifically with the Driftstone Cave file, but what? It's not clear quite yet. Keep in mind, in the back of the day, there was an experimental setting where only ground would spawn inside the Driftstone Cave file, like no zombies at all. They said they wanted to iterate on it further and would bring it back possibly in the future, and now it's been years and years and not coming back. Maybe that's what current. Either way though, with the cave update being the next current update and the Driftstone Cave file kind of lacking in features compared to the
Alright, let's go.
game, so I'm not putting it in
Alright, signal's clear as a bell.
very soon. And on top of that, it seems like the developers
Got
are
hostile
definitely
activity
working on
nearby.
simple
Take a look.
world generations with Bedrock Engine as well. So a brand new world might come into the game too. Honestly, with a brand new biome, and at least one coming in this brand new update, it's perfect time. Couldn't be any better. Nipitar, the legend who digs inside of the file.
Looks like you got a fight ahead of you.
Our first
You're
thing
free to
from
engage.
Nipitar that we found inside of this preview is brand new creative setting in Core UI. So this obviously is a part of the beautiful menus that the developers have been working on. This one is a game. To be honest, it's not that great. Actually, nowhere near as juicy as this next. Brace yourself, because this right
This
here
is it.
might be
We
the
got
most
'em mad
beautiful
now.
UI
Take
that
down
I
that
have
priority
ever
target
seen
ASAP.
hands down. Remember, I think if you're on
Just kick
Earth,
his
or
ass.
the new UI. You see Minecraft developers are working on
These uplinks are gonna provide critical data. Protect the enemy to threat to Appalachia as well. Get some rest. Keep burning it.
Inventory as well.
Dodge
It's
out.
gonna change eventually. New Ore UI bundle screen. Oh my god. Look at this thing right here. This is gorgeous. Now my big question is, will this change with the dyed color of the bundle? Dude, it looks so good. The progress bar of filling up the bundle, the 4 slots, the first 4 ones. Of course, you know how it goes with the bundle. We can put more than 4 things inside of it, presumably, as the bundle fills up and we get more rows. You know, we'll start to see even more rows and that new fancy UI. And then eventually, once it fills all the way up, boom, we hit red right there. Oh my god, though, that little icon is literally a big giant bundle. Mojang, you are poking with these. I need this in the game right now. Dude, it is so good looking. I'm obsessed. Oh man, I really hope that maybe the devs change their tone on it and bring Ore UI to Java Edition as well, even if it's an optional setting or texture pack or something, because I need it. It's so good looking. Anyway, major names inside of the preview. I think that's what we're going to call it today. What the heck do you think is going on with the Driftstone Caves Bible? Call it down below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Muchachos, adios.
Alright.
And let me see.
How about you beat it with a better deal on one of these fresh sets? We can't do that.
Verizon.
What's guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to another Battlefield 6 Gun Guide. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the new SMG that came with the Nightfall updates. This is the CZ3A1. And starting it off, as always, let's have a look at our raw power potential, and our rate of fire with this is quite fast at 981 rounds per minute, and this is going to be a 4 to 8 shot kill. What this means for our time to kill potential is it's incredible up close at just 183 milliseconds. There are only 2 other SMGs in the game that kill faster than this, and those are the KV9 as well as the SCW-10, which both have very small magazine capacity.
Alright.
So I mainly just want to point out this gun really excels in the time to kill department, and that actually extends out to all ranges. Even at long range, we still have an incredible time to kill for an SMG. However, headshots are not great on this gun. Without hollow point, it's going to require 3 headshots at all ranges mixed in with body shots to reduce the number of shots to kill. And then with hollow point, you can cut that down to 2 headshots required at all ranges.
Let's see where we can find some bugs.
Members, there is another trouble spot we wish to survey. Any capable men and women should proceed to the designated location. That is all.
And speaking of ranges, no surprises here. We have the exact same range drop-off points as all of the other SMGs, aside from the PW7. But as you can also see here, just reinforced, across the board, this has excellent time to kill potentials, no matter what the range is. As for our muzzle velocity, this is the first very notable downside with this gun. It's the second slowest in the SMG category at just 360 meters per second. And that's something that will absolutely hold you back if you try to stretch your ranges out, especially against targets that are moving perpendicular to you. So that is a limiting factor you have to be aware of with this gun. Then taking a look at hipfire, it's just the same hipfire spread as all of the other SMGs in the game, and especially combined with really high fire rates, that means this gun is very good at hipfiring. So much so that I will be sharing a hipfire build toward the end of the video. Now let's talk recoil. As you can see, this gun tends to kick upward with a lean to the right, and it will bounce around a fair amount on you. And relative to the other SMGs here, you can see we have the highest magnitude of vertical recoil, although it is worth noting this is skewed a little bit, because with the SCW-10, we're firing half the number of rounds with that recoil clock, since it just has a 15-round mag capacity. And so if the SCW-10 were firing a full 30 rounds like the CZ is in this plot, you would end up seeing noticeably more recoil there. So if we're putting it side by side with the SCW-10, this is more accurate than that gun overall, but it is still one of the least accurate SMGs in the game currently. Now you can get around this with controlled burst firing. It does fire at least consistently with the initial shots fired, and therefore I have been able to use this somewhat effectively at mid to somewhat longer ranges with those controlled bursts. But just know this is an area that will hold the gun back relative to many of the other SMGs. Next, let's take a look at our handling stats, and we've got very standard handling for an SMG here. However, it is worth noting our reload time is quite fast. It's actually the second fastest, almost half the PW7 at 3.2 seconds. And as I briefly mentioned earlier, the KV9 and the SCW-10, this one kills almost as fast as those guns, but we've got a normal magazine capacity, and that really does make a big difference, since magazine capacity is like the only thing holding the KV9 and SCW-10 back. But then when it comes to mobility, our movement speed stats are just standard for an SMG on this, which is great, no surprises there. And then finally, let's take a look at our RedSec basic stats. And against 2 armor plates, this is going to be an 8 to 15 shot kill. And unsurprisingly, that gives us an excellent time to kill potential for RedSec at just 428 seconds up close against 2 plates. There are not too many guns in the game that are going to reliably compete with that time to kill potential right up close and personal. And once again, as I said, that magazine capacity compared to the SCW-10 and the KV9, that makes a big difference, especially in RedSec. And there we have it. That wraps it up for all of the base stats of the CZ3. Now let's get into a couple excellent attachment combinations, and the first one I wanted to share is my preferred build with this gun because it's all about versatility and making up for some of the downsides on this. So with it, we're using the Mini Flex Optic, The 50 milliwatt violet laser to get that aim down sight moving spread under control nicely. We're also using
No,
the lens
fun to
suppressor on
do
here to
at
keep us
all.
off the radar, and that helps with recoil buildup, which is definitely nice on this gun. I'm also combining that with the extended barrel to make up for that really low bullet velocity, and while we still have a reasonably slow bullet velocity at 450 meters per second, that's at least a very noticeable leg up from the base, and it allows us to more confidently handle those mid-range engagements. On top of that, we're using the rib stubby because this doesn't hurt our aim down sight accuracy while moving, but it is helping keep that recoil under control. And then finally, we're just topping it off with the standard 30-round magazine and the standard ammo. And with this, you can see the recoil is nicely reduced compared to the base recoil. And it's just an excellent all-arounder. You're going to be dominating people up close, no problem with this. However, you still have the ability to stretch out to those mid-ranges. Because again, I got that recoil more under control as well as that velocity in a better
Quick
space.
super jumper
And this setup is just
again.
really
Not
good at
bad.
handling a very wide variety of situations, aside from like cross map situations. I may try to take the odd gunfight at really, really long ranges, but realistically you should be keeping yourself close to mid-range at most. As for the second build I wanted to share for you guys, as I mentioned earlier, I did want to share a hipfire build. And with this one, we're once again using the mini flex optic for when we do want to aim down sight with this. We've got the 50 milliwatt blue laser that helps nicely with the hipfire spread while also providing that aim down sight moving spread improvement. We've got the CQB suppressor on here, so we're not hurting our hipfire at all while still gaining the benefits of a suppressor. This time I'm just using the standard barrel since we're keeping things right up close and personal. I don't need to spend any extra points on the barrel. We've got the flashlight on here to help keep that spread tight as we're firing. The compact hand stop so we can fire and sprint at the same time. That helps us close the distance while putting rounds at range. And then once again, we finally just got the standard 30-round mag and the standard ammunition. And with this one, of course, it's just an excellent hipfire build, but you can, of course, aim down sight as well, and should aim down sight if you're stretching your range beyond the typical hipfire range. And in those cases, it handles itself just fine as well. And there we have it. That's going to wrap it up today's gun guide on the CZ3A1. And when it comes to my thoughts on this SMG, I really enjoy it so far. I've been finding a lot of success with it. This thing absolutely dominates in those close to mid-range engagements, in my experience, and it just feels like an upgraded version of the previous fast-killing SMGs, the KV-9 and the SCW-10, because, as I said, you get a 30-round magazine compared to the 15 or 17-round mags of those other guns I just mentioned. Now, I'm saying that they have kept it in check in the sense that at range, it's not really going to be excelling due to the recoil and velocity. And I would by no means say this is the most versatile SMG out there. It just has a lot of potential if you play to its strengths. Now, of course, these are just my thoughts on the CZ3A1, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about this gun in those comments down below. Are you guys generally enjoying it like myself, or do you feel like it's maybe not quite as good as it may want to be? And if you guys have missed any of the previous gun guides,
whereabouts are unknown. I repeat, Alpha's location is unknown. We need to find and kill that Alpha wolf ASAP. Take out the smaller packs and draw out that Alpha. Just make sure you bring a lot of bullets. That big Alpha is a heap of trouble.
The board finds new ground to assimilate.
What's going on, guys? Ace, and today we are going to be talking Call of Duty a little bit. I decided to upload this on both channels since it is more of a big picture franchise-wide video. But I'm sure many of you guys have noticed that Modern Warfare 2019 has grown up on Steam. In fact, it's been surpassing the concurrent player counts on Steam compared to the current Call of Duty game, which also includes Warzone as well as the previous one, Black Ops 6. And it's been surpassing Battlefield 6 on Steam as well. This is like a 6.5-year-old game at this point. So, what's going on here? What are my thoughts on the game? Because the debate has been reignited in the community. And also, a big thing is, I don't think this is a coincidence that we're seeing this happen right now. I think this may actually be giving us a bit of a hint as to what we're going to be seeing with Modern Warfare 4 later this year. So let's dive into this. And the first section, I just want to share my 2 cents on the whole debate that's been raging in the community. For a lot of people, this is the best Call of Duty ever made. It's by far their favorite COD. It brought them into the franchise, or it brought them back into the franchise if they had fallen off earlier. And to this day, they absolutely love it. Whereas for others, they despise it. And they feel it led to what we're dealing with right now in Call of Duty, which is massive franchise fatigue. And it was the Call of Duty that, while popular at the time, ended up derailing things big picture. So, where do I stand on this? Well, I'm sure many of you guys already know my thoughts on this, and if you guys want to dive much deeper into my thoughts that I'm not really going to expand on too much in today's video, just to keep things reasonable, I will link to my final review video of what I feel they did right and what they did wrong at the time, and that's when the game was much more fresh in my mind as well. But I did want to cover at least the key points of how I feel about this. And we're starting off with the positive. I think in many ways, Modern Warfare 2019 really did push the franchise forward, and it clearly did bring a ton of people back into the franchise and a bunch of new players in as well. I do think some of that is related to COVID. I think the timing was just right for that game as well. So like a lot of people that weren't really into gaming, they got into gaming suddenly. And when it came to like military shooters, especially like mainstream casual ones, this was the option. This was it. So of course it funneled a lot of people into that. But I don't think that was everything. I honestly think most of the success of this game was due to its packaging rather than the specifics of the gameplay design. At the time, they went for the most realistic-looking Call of Duty that was head and shoulders above any other COD at the time when it came to the graphics, theme, the art style, animation, just the general attention to detail and polish. It was incredible. They knocked it out of the park in all of those areas. And I really think that's what got people in the door. That's what piqued people's interest, especially the really casual players that didn't just buy Call of Duty year after year after year. The look and feel and packaging of this game is really what caught people's attention and brought them into it. And to top that off, a nice thing they did with this is they actually maintained that grounded identity throughout most of the life cycle of the game. We didn't have crazy, wacky skins 2 weeks after launch or literally at launch or in the beta. In fact, for some of the wackier skins, we didn't get them until like Halloween the following year. So like a year after the game launched, that's when we got like the most crazy skins. And even those ones, relative to many of the ones we've been seeing in recent years with Call of Duty, those ones were really tame. And I think all of that really helped maintain the image for this game. And especially then looking back, we don't look back to the ridiculous things that this game had. We look back to what it actually was throughout most of its life cycle, and that was quite a grounded-looking military shooter. It was very accessible as well. And by military shooter, I don't mean milsim, I just mean military-themed shooter. It maintained the visual identity of a military shooter. And then on top of that, something I'll always give them credit for is the gunplay was actually quite good as well. Just the act of like aiming and shooting your gun felt really good in that game. And so we're looking at the big picture of the game, and especially the packaging of the game. I think it was excellent. However, for me, the devil was in the details, and there was a combination of so many individual design decisions that made this my least favorite 66 Call of Duty multiplayer
Join the
experience
Pioneer
ever. And it
Scouts.
still holds that title for me to this day. Yes, even over Modern Warfare 2 in 2022, while that game also had a lot of issues and is quite low on my list, I would still rather play that than Modern Warfare 2019 when it comes to 6v6. And to explain why, again, I'm not going to expand on this too much because my longest video ever on this channel is talking about the things I felt they did wrong and actually getting into the details. I'll try to remember to link that in the description if you're interested in hearing me expand on these a lot more. But just covering the bullet points of the things that I really didn't like that they did with this game. Something I feel doesn't get talked about enough, they introduced a new spawn system that many in the community call the squad spawn system. That we're still sort of dealing with to this day. The other developers, especially Sledgehammer and Treyarch, have gotten better handle on it and have made it feel a lot less bad. But man, that spawn system really harmed the gameplay so much.
might find the right species, but really, the parts can come from
in my eyes. Obviously, that's a very subjective area, but it really felt like in that game, they often started off with a real area and then tried to turn that into a Call of Duty map, rather than designing a really good map from scratch, and then after the fact, trying to make it look like a real area. And I think that has some pretty bad gameplay implications, even though it might look really nice. And if you play the game at a really surface level and you don't really understand general map flow and stuff, you might not notice those sort of things. They also had a combination of so many design decisions in the game that heavily encouraged and rewarded super campy play styles. So like the loudest and easiest to pinpoint footstep audio in franchise history at the time, with no dead silence perk or the field upgrade, making
gotten
it
my
extremely
insect
difficult
samples
to
yet?
move around the map, especially in the higher skilled lobbies, which was another big issue with this game. Is for many people they were playing a very different version of the game than other people. So of course that's going to impact their impression. Another thing they did is they removed score streaks from the game. They went back to a quick post streak system, so objective game modes weren't rewarding you in the same way that
I
they
need
were
those
used to.
insect
Playing the
parts to make the repellent.
objectives, and you could sacrifice your most valuable perk tier just to get Point Man, which turned it into point streaks to give you a little bit of a reward for playing the objective, but why would you sacrifice your most important perk tier for that on a regular basis? On top of that, looking at it more big picture, they introduced the matchmaking system that I do feel worked really well for them in the short term, because again, for those really casual players that were coming back to the franchise after a long time away, or people that have never played a shooter before, they were coming in for the first time, many of them fell in love with this game because they performed so much better than they would have otherwise if this system didn't exist. In saying that though, I do feel this system is largely responsible for the decline over the years, because long term it leads to a lot of burnout. I've been calling it since the beginning. Short term, it works. Long term, not so much, as people get burnt out on a system like that. It doesn't really highlight your improvement over time or reward improvement. I think that was a terrible addition to the franchise in general. But on top of that, and related to that, Modern Warfare 2019 introduced forced disbanding lobbies, so you can no longer stay in the lobby. That destroyed so much of the social and community aspect of the game, which has always been a big part of the Call of Duty franchise before that point. In fact, it was one of the reasons COD was so successful in the golden age of COD, is it was often a very social experience, and you'd stick with the same lobby for hours on end sometimes. And then on top of all of that, they fundamentally changed more of a seasonal system that hard capped how much you could progress on a season-by-season basis, which again, I think is a very bad move that we've finally gotten back away from, and we're finally back to the more traditional prestige system that Call of Duty used to have, that many of us at least definitely prefer.
Okay.
This is just a handful of like the
That's cool.
of what I didn't like about that game. There were obviously a bunch of other things in there as well, and a lot more detail I could go into with them, and I have gone into that detail many times in the past. But I guess one last thing here is I do want to give credit to Ground War and Gunfight. I think those were good additions to the game. I thought they were very interesting. I enjoyed my playtime with them. They just didn't really scratch that same itch as like a regular 66 COD experience for me. And I should also mention, Search and Destroy was not nearly as bad as Respawn mode in that game. Search and Destroy was actually pretty decent in Modern Warfare 2019, but I'm just not really much of a Search and Destroy kind of guy. So those are my general thoughts on the game itself. I don't think it was all bad, but the combination of many things made it not a very enjoyable experience for me overall. But now let's talk about what this might mean for this upcoming Call of Duty. I don't think it's a coincidence that this was the game they chose to put on sale for $6 on Steam right around this time of the year. I really believe they're trying to bring back some of that nostalgia that many have for Modern Warfare 2019, because, as I said, it was an incredibly popular game and many people really look back on it. And I think they're trying to bring this nostalgia back to set the tone in advance of the marketing for Modern Warfare 4, which is likely going to be starting very soon. In fact, if I had to guess, I think they're probably going to start marketing for Modern Warfare 4 a little bit earlier than they have been for recent games. For a handful of reasons, partly because they tend to do that for Infinity War games. Another thing is it's been heavily rumored for a while now that they're going to be making another fairly big leap forward with this next Call of Duty game. So they're probably going to want to push marketing on that pretty heavily. Also, Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out later this year, so they're going to have a pretty big marketing push to keep the people's attention with that. And then another big thing is I just feel general perception for the Call of Duty franchise is like at an all-time low right now. It's even reached the point where it's not even hatred so much that you see for it, so much as just apathy. And I think that's a lot scarier to see, because people have lost the passion, so they don't even care enough to hate on the game, they just don't even care to talk about it at all. And I think that's a big picture issue that they're probably going to want to try to flip around with a very heavy marketing push for the next game. And as far as Modern Warfare 4 goes, I suspect they're going to try to recapture what they did with Modern Warfare 2019, especially with the and despite my feelings for the gameplay of Modern Warfare 2019, I really hope that
There we go.
the general vibe of the game, as well as the passion.
Villains over
And I
here.
really strongly feel what we're going to be seeing here is, once again, a very grounded military theme with a more serious
I think I'm gonna
tone
try to
and
launch
a
a
heavy
nuke
emphasis on
after I finish this
at least
tadpole
aesthetically. I'm not
quest.
saying it's going to be a Milsim gameplay wise. And I do think they're going to be getting rid of a lot of the silliness that you see with many recent Call of Duty games, at the very least within the launch window. And honestly, I'm really surprised this is something they haven't done since the success of Modern Warfare 2019. It's really blown me away that they haven't tried to recapture that up until this point, as they just haven't really leaned into that same sort of tone that we got back in that day. But I think right now, especially, the market is really primed for this, because, I mean, if we look back to the release of Battlefield 6, I still think one of the reasons it was so successful and sold so well up front the FPS community for a more grounded, military-themed game that actually maintained a military aesthetic. Themes or something like that. Just a grounded, realistic look to it. I think that's something that a huge portion of the FPS scene is craving right now, and that's something they had to have been keeping an eye on early on in development for this upcoming Call of Duty game. So I'd be very surprised and also very disappointed if they're not going that route with this next Call of Duty game. Gameplay-wise, I obviously hope they aren't following too closely in the footsteps of Modern Warfare 2019, and this is something I'll likely make a dedicated video on with some of my hopes and expectations for the next Call of Duty game, gameplay-wise. But just as a general statement here, I definitely think it is time to dial back the movement a little bit. As much as I personally enjoy faster-paced Call of Duty games with lots of movement, I like Omni movement, kind of like the wall bouncing, even though it's a little weird at times, and I was a big fan of jetpack pods, for instance. At the same time, though, I acknowledge that that's not what's best for the franchise as a whole. That pushes so many players away, I think unnecessarily, because I don't think crazy movement is necessarily a fundamental pillar of what Call of Duty is. And I do think it's far too polarizing for a franchise that's designed to be appealing to the masses. And so, yeah, even as somebody that likes movement, I think it's time for them to really dial that back quite a bit. I just hope they don't go too far in the other direction, and I hope they don't equate fast movement speeds and stuff to just fast general pacing. Because you can have a reasonably fast-paced Call of Duty without having ridiculous movement techniques or movement speeds or anything like that. There are many other elements that can play into the pacing of the game. And again, I just really hope they don't overcompensate there and end up providing an extremely slow-paced Call of Duty that heavily rewards and encourages that camping playstyle while punishing any sort of movement or movement. Again, that's something I plan on expanding on as time goes on, but I think that's a good place to
that's
for
terrible.
this video. I definitely think this wasn't a coincidence. I think this is
Don't know what I was
at the
expecting, but that's
general
terrible.
style, or at least feeling that they're going to try to recapture leading into the marketing for Modern Warfare 4.
Ooh,
And I'm very curious here for you guys in those comments down below.
Oh, sorry, I skipped there for a second.
What are your thoughts on Modern Warfare 2019? Did you
close
generally
one.
enjoy that game, or maybe not so much? And also, what are some hopes or expectations that you have for Modern Warfare 4 this year? Do you guys think they are really going to try to turn that perception around and kind of put things on their head a little bit? Or maybe not. You expect it to be pretty much business as usual for Call of Duty. Let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.
Cool.
Never bring to do anything. The most strategic move is the one that meets the right moment.
There is an ability in competitive Pokemon that, if it ever became popular, could single-handedly ruin the game. Imagine a world where you can crush the sea, where everything might be as easy as the world you first line of defense against certain dangers, nothing against you. Your own eyes leading you down tunnels that never end. In this world, seeing isn't believing. In this universe, nothing is guaranteed. Every moment is spent holding your breath, trying to fight the threat that you cannot see, but you know is there. Or maybe it isn't. You're fighting two battles, the threat itself and the fear. It might sound dramatic, but it's true. There is a Pokemon ability that makes this nightmare world a reality. Its sinister tendrils warp this game I love. Even when the Pokemon doesn't come to the battle, there is one bastion of safety against this era of paranoia. The fact that only one Pokemon gets this ability, and nobody thinks that this Pokemon is very good. Unfortunately for them, I think they're wrong. This is the story of Illusion, and Hisuian Zoro. But unfortunately for you, dear viewer, this intro itself is an illusion. Because before we can talk about Zoro, we have to first talk about the greatest city on Earth, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The Milwaukee Regional Championships will be my first in-person event following last season's
fellow Pioneer Scout is always a welcome.
For two main reasons. First, there are over 700 players competing. Second, the format
Oh, I need Red Roach to be a son of a bitch.
master in the lead of the world. Unlike that high-power explosive format where legendaries dominate, this new format is the complete opposite because every single legendary and paradox format is banned. This is the among following the World Championships in 2024, and I think it's a lot of fun. But the truth is that I have not touched it in nearly a year, and I've got zero good ideas that I'm sitting on to start building a team. But while I might not have anything cooking, I have a friend over in Milwaukee who just might have something spicy that has been simmering. Allow me to introduce you to Dr. Aaron Trailer. Aaron and I have been friends since 2011. He's an incredible Pokemon player and one of the single best people I know. We've worked on teams together countless times over the years, and those collaborations have often taken us to the peak of the game. But after a disappointing finish at the 2023 World Championships, we each went on our own individual journeys, honing our skills and working on our own. Now it's time to come together once more. With no time to spare, we get started. I send Aaron a list of 27 Pokemon that to me seem underexplored. There's a lot of Pokemon on here that I think have potential. Titan, Spothra, Hisuian Braviary, Porygon Z. But out of everything, there's one Pokemon that stands out to him more than all the rest. Hisuian Zoroark. Now, Hisuian Zoroark is not normally thought to be a very good Pokemon. It fits the archetype of Pokemon that typically struggle with competitive play, which is fast and frail attackers who try to move before the opponent and do massive damage. In general, I would say that these Pokemon need some sort of X factor to boost their attacking prowess in order to make them worth using. The problem with Hisuian Zoroark is that while it is both fast and strong, it's not even fast or strong enough to justify using it. Faster Pokemon can knock it out from one hit, and although it does outspeed a lot of Pokemon in combat, most of them are tanky enough to survive a hit and then to KO Zoroark in return. And as such, Hisuian Zoroark is seeing almost zero usage. But both Aaron and I think it not only has potential, it can actually win.
Let's find us a Red Roach.
But the truth is that different aspects of Zoroark and also each of us.
But it's fun to imagine they did.
Zoroark has mostly been used as an offensive choice specs attacker, but I'm thinking what we use the speed not to do damage, but instead to disrupt our opponents. And there isn't another Pokemon that can do anything similar in this format. Aaron, on the other hand, is interested in something else. Hisuian Zoroark's unique typing. As the only ghost and normal type Pokemon, Hisuian Zoroark is the one Pokemon in the game that is completely immune to both fighting moves and ghost type
Alright.
moves. That's relevant because one of the single best Pokemon in this format is Annihilator, a fighting and ghost type that's able to even KO Pokemon that resist it and give them a unbiased spell. Unfortunately for them, no matter how many boosts Annihilator gets, it will never be able to do even a single point of damage to Hisuian Zoroark. But once again, I'm afraid that everything that is quirky about Zoroark is a bit of magician's needle. I've asked you to pay no attention to the elephant and the curtain. The truth is that neither its typing nor its move pool is the most interesting thing about Hisuian Zoroark. That honor is bestowed upon its ability, Illusion. I would say that it is arguably the single most evil ability present in Scarlet and Violet. Illusion is simple
Of
enough
course,
to
the
understand. Whenever Zoroark is sent out, it disguises
So
itself
there's
as another Pokemon with your
Red
So
Roach
there is
here.
an opponent's target card. Specifically, it disguises itself as whichever lost Pokemon you have in your party is
Just a
who
little.
you choose. Now, I mentioned that fast and frail attackers in Zoroark usually need some kind of X
Just
factor.
gotta go
And
down.
in theory, that should be Illusion.
That way?
In a perfect world, Illusion by itself chances to attack and do more damage. But if it actually works in practice,
Oh.
then Zoroark would have some
I gotta go up here.
right? In fact, doesn't Zoroark having nearly zero return finishes kind of imply that Illusion is not some grand magician's Las Vegas hack, but instead throws you to like an amateur magician at a kid's birthday party? Now, it's true that Illusion might not have effects that are as immediately powerful as some of the game's most iconic
farm, red roach meat.
Cool. Wild.
You immediately blow your compass. However, you can also dispel your illusion by disguising your farm as any ability that interacts with your opponent's abilities. For example, fighting gambit or annihilate being sent out against your opponent's incineroar. This is also true of certain items, such as your amulet. All of this is also true of the Pokemon that you are disguising as Zoroark as well. Leading Incineroar next to Zoroark immediately tells your opponent that there's only one Pokemon they need to worry about being an illusion. For this scheme to work, we need to not only disguise
So how do we...
well, but we need to make our
Scout Avalanche.
to figure out where and if Zoroark is hiding. Now, every single thing that I've talked about so far has only been about how we disguise Zoroark. That doesn't mean about winning the game in any way. Disguising Zoroark correctly doesn't really matter if you can't actually do anything with the ambiguity that you've created. Figuring out the illusion minigame is important, but it's not as important as treating Zoroark like a Pokemon that will actually do something. To achieve this, we need to find partners that can both be disguised as Zoroark and can be on the field next to Zoroark and can be on the field with each other, with Zoroark not present. And every combination of this little triangle has to work well together. And that's not even everything, because I haven't told you yet about the hardest condition of all. See, the most common move in the game is called Protect. It fully shields the user from all damage and effects for the turn. If you're worried that your opponent might have Zoroark, all you have to do to check is Protect.
Dropwork tour back again. Right, when so, this harvester needs some maintenance, and I'm hoping there's enough parts around here to fix it up. That's what I need you for. Once you've sorted that harvester, let's file it off. It'll bring a storm in, and this lot in here can enjoy the view. Everyone wins. Aye, those are the ones. Go ahead and pop that, whatever that is, into one of them consoles. I'm sure those boxes have instructions in them somewhere, mate. Never doubted you for a second, mate. Get the rest of it fixed. Keep going. Nearly there. Right. All the bars are at the top and flashing green, so that's probably a good thing. I'm gonna set about getting this thing online. Take a quick breather. Remember when I told you about them signatures that weren't used? Also, I don't really know what happens if this harvester doesn't run fully. I'm gonna need you to make sure it charges properly and not let whatever's out there interfere with the process. Last thing, I don't like giving refunds. And if these lot in here don't get what I promised them, they're probably going to want one. So there's another reason to charge them up. Cool. Hang on. Killing that one made the harvester charge more than it normally does. Maybe killing them extra sparky ones will speed this up. Kill a few more and see.
Oh. I see. Cute, but not for me. Ooh, that's cute. Yeah, I think a lot of this I'm just gonna skip.
What a roar, man! Well done, mate. A really solid effort. Everyone, if you could stay inside the bunker for a few moments while my associates make sure it's safe to exit.
Cool.
Thank you!
Right.
Big effort you made for me there. I won't forget it in a hurry.
Don't know what the fuck killed me. Alright. That was interesting.
first glance, it might look like a typical American suburb. Wide streets, single-family homes, and a population of over 50,000 people just outside Chicago. But if you look a little closer, something's fantastic. At its center is a walkable downtown district filled with transit stations, restaurants, shops, apartments, and public spaces. And surrounding it are dense neighborhoods connected by tech stores, water, and service. Because these are private corporations and city entities related to the people of the city, making it more dense than it is the city. And most of it isn't unique. Dozens of suburbs are really similar. Evanston, Roosevelt, Arlington Heights, and Hinsdale all have compact downtowns, strong transit connections, and street layouts that feel far more like small cities than traditional American suburbs. This is very different from what you see in most metropolitan areas. Usually, suburbs are dominated by roads and large parking lots. The entire region long before the in the mid to late 1800s, Chicago was growing at an extraordinary pace. Population exploded from just a few thousand people in the 1840s to over 1 million by the end of the 1800s. As the city expanded, railroads quickly became the main way people and goods moved across the region. Rail lines radiated outward from Chicago in every direction, and along those lines, small towns were being Developers were taking more distinction first, and one layout of compact street were divided with homes, shops, and residential buildings within walking distance. Places like Evanston, Oak Park, Riverside, and Hinsdale were all established along these commuter rail corridors in the late 1800s. Residents could live just outside the more crowded city instead of taking the train into downtown Chicago for work. Over time, this network continued to expand. By the early 20th century, dozens of commuter rail lines were connecting Chicago to surrounding towns across northern Illinois. What had once been independent railroad suburbs gradually became part of a much larger metropolitan region. But importantly, their original layouts remained intact. Even as the
Alright, where is Mr. Silo Charlie?
Already established suburbs were not heavily affected, unlike newer ones further out. And the fact that they were never redesigned or recalled still determines how they function today. Many of the closest suburbs like Evanston, Forest Park, Cicero, and Oak Park are connected directly to Chicago by a city rapid transit system known as the M, with the purple, pink, blue, and green lines. These trains run frequently throughout the day, making it easy to reach downtown without a car. Farther out, a much larger network of commuter rail lines connects dozens of suburban towns across the region. Known as Metro, the system operates 11 lines with over 200 stations in total and stretches nearly 500 miles, linking communities like Naperville, Arlington Heights, and Hinsdale.
I hope I got finally learned some more legendary
Metro
facts.
carries around 167,000 passengers.
Did I even get any?
And the L carries over 400,000.
No.
For most
Doubt I've heard any.
residents, commuting by train remains faster and more convenient than driving, especially as Chicago is consistently ranked as one of the worst cities for traffic in North America. Because of this, the areas around the train stations remain the busiest parts of town. Restaurants, apartments, offices, and shops cluster within walking distance, while residential neighborhoods spread outward in a relatively connected street network. But transit isn't the only thing that makes Chicago's suburbs feel different. The street layout also plays a major role. Consistent street grids in the world. The grid is centered at the intersection of State Street and Madison Street, and every address is measured from that point. 800 address numbers equal 1 mile, and 100 address numbers equal 1 cent. So, for instance, if you're at State Street, you know you're about to be on Madison Street. When the first suburbs were built, their street networks were designed to align with the city grid. That means more streets, more intersections, and multiple routes between destinations. Instead of being forced onto a few large arterial roads, traffic spreads across smaller streets, which makes neighborhoods easier to walk and navigate. Additionally, Chicago's suburbs have an almost perfectly balanced density. Take Evanston as an example. As you can see, density is mainly concentrated around the two major train stations. Here we have apartments, courtyard buildings, row houses, and small multi-family buildings, along with
Alright, so
shops
what I
and
can do for
offices.
these.
If you go further out, you'll see more single-family homes and duplexes. In practice, Evanston functions like a small city built without transit. This kind of layered density is extremely effective as it allows enough people to live near the center to support local businesses and transit, while still providing lower density neighborhoods nearby. Compare this to a place like Atlanta. Originally, Atlanta and Chicago weren't actually that different. Both cities developed as major railroad hubs in the 19th century and became the dominant economic centers of their respective states. Parts of Atlanta also follow a relatively organized street pattern, especially in older neighborhoods near the city center. However, its suburbs developed in a completely different way. Take a suburb like Alpharetta, just north of Atlanta. Most of its growth happened after the 1980s, during a time when suburban development across the United States was almost entirely built around the automobile. Instead of compact downtowns centered around transit, development spread outward along highways like Georgia State Route 400. Residential neighborhoods were often built as
Can I even make a fat man?
cul-de-sacs and winding streets, designed to limit through traffic rather than connect different parts of the town. Shopping centers,
We're gonna find
offices,
out.
and restaurants were typically built along major arterial roads, surrounded by large parking lots and separated from residential areas. As a result, even relatively short trips often require driving. In recent years, Alpharetta has made efforts to densify and improve walkability of the core, but the overall development pattern from decades ago remains largely the same. And ironically, the kind of suburban design we see in Chicago is now exactly what many cities across the United States are trying to recreate. In recent years, planners have started promoting what's known as transit-oriented development, building housing, shops, and offices close together around transit stations in order to reduce car dependency and create more walkable communities. We've seen this implemented in suburbs like Arlington in Virginia, Walnut Creek in California, and Bellevue outside Seattle, which are all now building dense, walkable districts around rail stations, something Chicago's suburbs had already figured out more than a century ago. All of this shows how well Chicago's suburbs have aged. More than a century after they were built, that early design still helps to make them some of the most functional and livable in the United States. Thank you for watching.
Let's make some more. I'm tired of worrying about ammo.
Exciting news! A lot of y'all know that I am partnered with Gamer Tips, and they volunteered out of the kindness of their own hearts to cover the amount that TikTok would not pay. W Gamer Tips, they were like, here, we'll just pay this out to you. You can pay it to them whenever it gets through.
The latest Galaxy from Verizon, you can sign up for a new look.
Good morning, everyone. Exit,
Get anything else? Did we already have Chameleon? I think we did.
Hello there.
We got Furious. I don't know if we already had that or not. That's amazing. We got medics. Don't know if that's new or not, but That's whatever. Oh, we'd have limb damage. Is that new? I think that's new. But that's amazing. That might be new, but maybe not.
I don't know, I hit an arrow.
But we got Swift, so
Saying screen cannot be created.
we got a few decent ones over there. And we got Bully. Bully's pretty nice.
I'm not online again. Yeah, I'm not yet online again. I'm not started.
There's an excellent.
I'm online here on YouTube. I get error on YouTube. But screen cannot be created. I didn't know what's going on.
If you say so long, I'll be back tomorrow.
YouTube is so green now. I have no idea what's going on. We can start the game now.
Let's go display some stuff.
Hope I'm not in the way. Am I?
Do you even want that? I feel like I kind of want strength. Let's throw strength on for now. Cool. There we go. There we go. We'll take that. My problem with trying to stash these is that it's fucking my weight. We're gonna try to finish these possum badges.
Oh, the roadside is awesome. Yeah, roadside is now like one of the top weapons. Roadside was never better. And how long it will be number one? I don't know. I have no idea. That's the schedule. People are saying it's not picking up, but it doesn't pick up when I try to pick up all. But if I pick up one, I think it's working.
All this stuff all the way out here. I haven't seen any other brotherhood out this way. Orders or orders.
Couple more collectors to empty. And that's a lot of collectors. That's all the collectors that so far were added to the game. Cozy from the harpoon gun is good too, I know that. Maybe I could put it on something. Where am I? Let's go. Yeah, but no where am I? But I'm here alone. Let's go to Scorcher.
Ugh, best girlfriend in the world. And I think. Oh, mouth shut off. Come on. There we go. I think we're gonna try to finish at least one of these badges, maybe two, and then necklace and battlefield. I think 2 shots the next effect I want. 2 shot and quad. We might actually be able to do this.
Getting the backpack is just a lot of fun. Like, I've done this like 3 times now. A lot of people would say it's tedious, it is, but just the fun stuff we get to do. It's not like shooting guns all the time, it's just some cool stuff. And so basically with the athletic course, to get into it anyways, you're gonna have to run through and you're gonna have to run between these yellow flags. And you'll hear a prompt when you go through them. Just keep in mind when you go past these yellow flags right here, if you're not hearing a prompt, then you may have missed it. Like I did here. I have to go back
Go into your world, drop down, you're gonna go ahead and get to your possums, but I've already done these. These are the 3 I did to get my possum. You're gonna go ahead and get 2 possums. I did
Camp
Archer,
Venture,
Apple,
New River
Swimmer.
Gorge,
Just did
Sunny
an Archer
Top.
video, so go and look at those previous video on my channel that I just did. Alright, for the athlete guys, you're gonna have to pass the athlete knowledge exam. You have to have a strength of greater than 5. You have to have the agility of greater than 5. You have to complete 3 athletic courses, 1 at Camp Venture, 1 at New River Gorge Bridge, and at the Sunny Top Ski Lane. Pretty simple, as long as you have the strength and the agility to do it, and you go ahead and you actually pass your athletic exam, which if you look down in the description at the top, I have all the answers for you. There's a link, and full credit has been given to the person who made that, just to let you know. Alright guys, so go down, and you're going to walk down here, go past this kiosk right here, hang a left, and you're going to go directly east out of here, and this building right here is where you're going to take your exam, okay? Go in here, or right here where this person is sitting, at this terminal, and this Pioneer Scout Camp. So right off the bat, guys, you're going to want to go into your technology, go into your world, drop down, you're going to go ahead and get to your possums, but I've already done these. These are the 3 I did to get my possum. I mean, get 2 possums. I did Archer, Athlete, Swimmer. I just did an Archer video, so go and look at the previous video on my channel that I just did. Alright, for the athlete guys, you're going to have to pass the athlete knowledge exam. You have to have a strength of greater than 5. You have to have the agility of greater than 5. You have to complete top. I have all the answers for you. There's a link, and full credit has been given to the person who made that, just to let you know. Alright guys, so go down, and you're going to walk down here, go past this kiosk right here, hang a left, and you're going to go directly east out of here, and this building right here is where you're going to take your exam, okay? Go in here, and right here where you're sitting at this terminal, and this is where you're going to be. I think it's terminal 2, you can go there. Once you pass your exam, you're going to want to find yourself...
Well, I guess we might as well do Archer Athlete while we're here. Start exam. Question. I was planning a bow hunting for the snow rocks. Redhead point. 2. Archer German. Your favorite Archer telescope is now. Why? You just go to the street. Send the prank for regularly. Emotionally, you hear me saying any for bills to test the truth. Cool. Only one person sure that's possible for your own safety. I'm assuming that's you. I was right. Yeah, sweet. Cross country running, a dog. Mission for the pentathlon. 5. Running around the Charleston. Runner's high. Training for a marathon. Lactic acid. With acids, bulk up by lifting weights. Clean and jerk. Let's go ahead and do swimmer. I think a light snack. Those running around the way to Williams Park. Cool. It's like made at summer camp. So then I just forget this one. I'm gonna fish myself off the coast. Face down low, hands up. Impossible happens. Evil comics manage launching. That's wild as fuck. All water sources are likely to have areas this should be avoided. Gotta get 5 out of 5? Damn. I don't know which one I missed. I'm assuming the one that wasn't exactly. It was the correct way to survive a drowning victim. Turn the victim's head to the side to drain water and back to the center from mouth to mouth. Strange friend Miguel's major hypochondriac. Xerophobia. He was bragging about the health benefits he gets from being a regular swimmer. Well, fuck Timmy. His declaration about the water giving him baby soft skin. That's wild. The impossible heaven. Bastards. Passed, but it didn't say anything. What the fuck? What's going on? Comics fan. Cool. I didn't see that on there. What the heck? So annoying. Hey, we got the fan on we wanted though. That's pretty nice. Nope, not good. Go back to ranks. Oh, what did I unclip? Thank you, baby. All right. Don't know if there's another terminal. Gotta be. So we can't do atomics. Well then, what can we do? We gotta do that then. Nope, that guy left, damn it.
Between Hub and it says right there, rope and endurance sports. So right, yeah, now I just created a few of these sports that went here, just so it would make it a little bit easier on it. And you go right through here, along this path, go ahead and hit left. You're gonna go directly east out of here, and this building right here is where you're gonna take your exam. Okay? Go in here, and right here where this person is sitting at this terminal, and this is where you're gonna be. I think it's terminal 2. You can go there. Once you pass your exam, you're going to want to find yourself between Harper's Ferry and the Cranberry Bog to Camp Venture. So we're going to go ahead and travel right there right now. Alright guys, now once you've found your way to Camp Venture, you're going to find yourself on the southeastern side, where you're going to want to be. Okay, once you pass the ferry and the Cranberry Bog to Camp Venture.
Okay, hold on. Camp Venture, here we go. We're on to something here, chat. We're on to something here.
We're going to go ahead and travel right there right now. Alright Alright guys, now once you've found your way to Camp Central, you're gonna find yourself on the southeastern side. That's where you're gonna want to be. Okay, so you stand right here, go through this entrance right here, and it's a straight shot. Now I just cleared a few of these courts around here, just so it makes it a little bit easier. You go right through here, along this path, go ahead and hit left, and it says right there, rope and endurance course. So right across the bridge.
Welcome, campers. It's time to complete your athletics running test. Yeah! Here's the rules. Run to each checkpoint in the right order and reach the finish line before time runs out. That's right. On timing. Just like life's race against our own fleeting mortality, this is a race against the clock. Yeah! Everyone ready? Great! On your mark. Get set. Go! Wow, you did it. Great job! But that's only the first. Head on over to the next one.
I mean, Ed, I went ahead and cleared this out for you guys. We didn't have to deal with them. There, deal with. Very, very simple, very, very quick. Next, you're going to find your way up to Sunny Top Ski Lanes. If you haven't been there before, it's actually just southeast of the Palace of the Winding Path. So we're going to go ahead and head over there. Okay, once you're at Sunny Top Ski Lanes, guys, you're going to want to find yourself to the northeast side of Sunny Top. Okay? We'll head toward the northeast. Probably have to clear some sports out. I already did. Went ahead and cleared this out for you guys. We didn't have to deal with them. Go right through here. Drop down. Go this way. You can actually just drop down right here. And it's actually right here. So you're gonna start the course right here. You're gonna activate it. Now you're gonna run. It's a straight shot. This is easier than the last one we just did. Oh, except for it's got booby traps. So be aware. There's a grenade there. We have spike traps here. There's mines. So you gotta keep going really fast.
Up! You ready to put those legs to work? Because I'm ready. Born ready. Ready, Freddy? Yeah! Same rules as last time. Run through each checkpoint in the right order and make it to the finish line in time. Here we go. On your mark. Get set. Go, go, go!
Oh shit.
muscle on the way. You'll need your strength.
East, that's where you want to be.
Right about there. Alright, chat, we're getting at least one of these back done. Damn, they really said that shit's dead. And join a more populated server. That was painful. Did they get kicked out? Or they're just not joining? Whatever.
protein milkshakes. 30 grams of protein, unlimited grams of fun.
The Ken Nunn Law Office fights hard for their clients. All you have to do is call. It's just that easy.
After I call, they help take care of all my worries.
Everything's gonna be fine. I don't think these things are gonna blow up my boat. There's no way. Right? I want to go into a cage system. I want to fight bosses. I want to get some sick-ass armor. I want some journeys. Today, our objective is to find them. I think we just, since we're here, let's just get warmed up and knock this out. What do you think? Where am I going here? You can pick up an item, carry it, and throw it. Okay, now we just need to
This
put
is
it over
it.
here.
Your final race. Hopefully it's not your final race, but who knows? Death comes for us all eventually. Where was I? Ah, right. The rules, same as before. Go each checkpoint in the right order. Finish line. You got this. I believe in you. On your mark. It's set.
Beautiful.
Go.
All right, push the wagon. Find a pickaxe. Wait, what? How about stand up? Beautiful. Raise the banner. Where do you want to raise? Right there. Where's the stand? Controls are something else, man. Doc, you're gonna love the laundry mission. I've never seen anything like it. They've really caught lightning in a bottle in this game. I'm not doing the laundry. I'm gonna go in. Yes, I'm just gonna go inside. Okay, so take another route. Okay, well, if I fucking climb your castle then get inside. Oh yeah. Go inside. Turn off your fucking lantern. Where are you? Just let the bar at the top right go down. Nothing to see. And it's gone. We're getting a lot of cash, aren't we? What's in this? Anything in here? What else? Wait, what do we got?
It's a tough test.
Okay. I didn't mean to. I got lost. Where's my house? Let's go inside. What do we got here? We're starting today off.
You completed your running requirements for your athletics badge.
We did a voice.
Way to go.
And why is that? How do I use the sword of the Lord? What is that? How do I use my fucking shield?
Challengers. So we got archery. We do need to craft some bolts.
Can we slingshot? What do you think? I'm just pulling trees back here. Jump high. Whoa! Yeah! Alright. We're learning. Can you just continue the main quest? No, it's fucking boring.
That would have been awesome.
Build laundry. Fold clothes. Here, hammer the nail into the side of the wall. This is not the bell. Oh, there it is. Is that the bell? That has to be the bell.
Was my
Oh, what the hell is this? Wait a minute. It's a puzzle, and we must do something about it. Is there like a pattern that you guys are seeing? I don't think these fucking things. Wait. What did I just do? What did I just do? How did we solve it? Yeah! We got an Abyss artifact! Go to our fucking skills now. Yeah, enhance it. There you go. What did we do? I have no fucking idea. No idea. There's some cooking.
Fuck.
Materials, stats, grilled cooking. Make it.
I just dropped him.
Skip it. Look at that. Man. That looks really good. Grilled meat. Make it. Let's see what the grilled meat looks like. Oh yeah, that looks even better. Let's go sell now. So tell me where do I go to sell? Let's get this gameplay loop of understanding items, what to keep, what to sell, yada yada yada. Let's get that sort of sense of knowledge built into it. Is this my tent? Private look it, we found our base. Oh my god! We're gonna understand this whole inventory system, what to keep, what to sell, what to get rid of, and then we go out on an adventure again.
Okay. That's useful. Not what I need right now, but useful.
Bounty. A bounty will be paid to anyone who captures the bounty target and brings them to Constabulary. However, only half the bounty reward is killed instead of captured alive. Sell something and understand my inventory. Anybody got a fucking answer for this? Where do we go? Okay, we see two now. What did I just acquire? Is this what I sell? I'm selling it on my weapons. What else? Come on, let's do a couple bounties and then we're going on an adventure again. This storm thing is kind of weird. controls are just fucking super simplified and cool. This game would be unbelievable. The Black Force, can we go through the door? No. We haven't figured this fucking thing out. Fucking A, man. Is it... No, get that guy out of here. We're doing a whole lot of nothing right now, and it's fucking pissing me off. Are you trying to complete the King Shield Mountains Ruins puzzle solution? I don't know. Like, am I? You talking about Jeffrey? Alright, ready for an adventure? Fucking A, dude. What the fuck? That's the gate of truth right there. We're going. I haven't fucking done anything. I'm trying to solve this constellation thing. How about fucking slime? I don't know where my fucking thing went. What does the L3 do? There's that. So where's this? Get up, man! Main story, Doc? Do we want to go to the main story? Is that what we want to do? You guys want the main story, huh? Alright, let's go to the main story here.
Members, the Kovac has detected a fresh pack of boots gathering above ground. Report to the extermination site and aid us in their disposal. That is all.
Massive open world RPG game. But it's not allowing me! Climbing up. This game is actually kind of addicting. Like the more I play it, the more I'm actually kind of like digging it. I'm fucking getting upset now.
Signal detected. Activate additional signal sources to initiate extermination protocol.
I'm sure everything's gonna be nice and smooth.
Well, certainly not first try. My own mother and father.
Oh, where'd you go? Fuck, there he is. Stay right there. Stay right there.
No.
Did you see
Systems engaged. Activating targeting protocols. Please stand by. Error. Unrequested tube decompression detected. Immediate repair requested. Users. Component signal lost. Recalibration requested. Warning. Gear system blocked. Please perform immediate repairs. User intervention required. Temperature error detected. Please approach array component immediately.
Skills and learn with staff.
Component resuming function. Restored. Resuming connection.
Orientation complete. Signal broadcast active. Target locked. Immediate evacuation required. Repeat. Please retreat to a safe distance immediately.
What are we 16 out of 50.
Orbital strike complete. Elimination of remaining hostile targets authorized.
That was pretty steady. I'm not gonna lie.
Specified hostiles eliminated. Infestation cleared. Thank you for your participation.
No way. We have to go investigate, man. Wait, is that a pirate ship? What are these things in the middle of the ocean over here? These like islands that you can swim to before you drown? Wait, what's this? Oh shit! Does anybody know how to get out there? There's a boat. Come on. Alright, let's go. Wait. If we just continue to do this, look at this. We're actually going. Everything's gonna be fine. I don't think these things are gonna blow up my fucking boat. There's no way. We're gonna make it in this fucking ship, man. I'm telling you. Okay, watch out. Watch out.
This is Griffin Mayor with a priority message. It's Griffin Day! Again!
Dude.
The Griffin Monster and his robot handlers are on parade. Friends, everyone loves the parade. And a really fun. That's why he wants answers.
It's kind of unfortunate that it starts with just like kind of dumb missions and it makes it feel very amateurish. And you got like these generic castle towns and medieval towns. I didn't think I was gonna say it. Literally, I'm driving a Lamborghini to the arena, and I'm on the flip phone saying, do we play Halo? Or do we play Crimson Desert and we give it another chance? Well, after the first one, we give it a 6.5 out of 10. Yes, I think that's where we were, right? I think today, after today's sort of advancements in the game and kind of seeing the bigger scale of everything and understanding these puzzles and these explorations, I still think the caves could be better. Obviously, I think discovery of rare items, we haven't really discovered like, hey, here's a fucking purple shield. Look at that. Look at that helmet. That's
gives me plus 30 damage and whatever. And I'm sure there's a lot of other shit that we don't know. I don't even know how to manage my inventory. But the number has definitely jumped up. We're sitting at about I'm sitting at about an 8.4 out of 10 now. It went from a 6.5 to an 8.4 in 1 second. Because I'm having a good time. The exploration is fun. I love it, man. This fucking world is huge. We gotta keep going, man. We gotta keep going. And we're gonna keep going. I got a fucking dog. I got a turret. And I got
Right. When I'm done, give me a sec to look up the location of the tower. See if there's enough of here so you can get to sorting this out. Oh, this harvest is amazing. And I'm hoping there's enough parts around here to fix it up. That's what I do.
Hey.
Once you've sorted that harvest,
I'll
climb it off. It'll bring a storm in, and this lot in here can enjoy the view. Everyone wins. Aye, those are the ones. Go ahead and whatever that is.
Thank you, baby.
I'm sure those boxes have instructions somewhere, man. Never doubted you for a second, man. Get the rest of it.
Bless you, baby.
Looks good to me.
Hey, sister.
Go get some more.
Yeah, but I can have it for
Right.
2 hours.
All the bars are at the top and flashing green, so that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set about getting this thing online. You take a quick breather.
I don't know for how big it is.
Remember when I told you about them signatures that weren't used? Now there's more. A lot more. Also, I don't really know what happens if this harvester doesn't run fully. I'm gonna need you to make sure it charges properly and not let whatever's out there interfere with the process. Last thing, I don't like giving reruns. And if these lot in here don't get what I promised them, they're probably going to want one. So there's another reason to charge them up. Hang on. Killing that one made the harvester charge a bit more than it normally does. Maybe killing them extra sparky ones will speed this up. Kill a few more and see.
So I couldn't remember that I did that. Genuinely, the console has only been used as like a doorstop for me or an album drop. There's just been no reason to play my Series X, except for the 2 times I've played Halo 5, PlayStation, so I gotta do it again for the gaming channel. I'm trying to Halo 5 and Legendary. I finally got everything set up with me.
Brother.
Unless it's, or I don't remember if it's one legendary or not. This might be one of the easier ones.
How am I missing the shot? There we go. Jesus.
It's all here.
You see the way that thing folds after you checked it? What a roar, man! Well done, mate. A really solid effort. Everyone, if you could stay inside the bunker for a few moments while my associates make sure it's safe to exit. Thank you! Cheers, mate. Big effort you made for me there. I won't forget it in a hurry.
You know what I also looked up?
Hey.
I'm still trying to find my Series X. The Halo 5 speedrun actually has so many cool glitches. The speedrun for Halo 5 is tight. It's just a shame nobody runs it. Like, literally nobody runs it. I think the only active runner is someone named David Spartan, I believe is the name.
Automated flash warning. Mass of Scorch reported in your vicinity. Have forward observer use recon scope for Defiance artillery strike at Victoria.
That's a really good start. This is actually going to be fucking terrible for me. I haven't played a shooter on console in so long. Halo was made for console. Even actual idiots can play this on console. I can do this. Good start. Too deep. I was going to recover like that, and now there is the wireless. I like movies wireless. I'm sure. I'm on it. Damn, they're fast.
Unauthorized presence detected near Mount Blair train yard. Rioting will not be tolerated. All right manning company protection protocols have been engaged. Security units on site. All unauthorized personnel are advised to immediately leave the area or else risk dire consequences. This will be your only warning.
I think it doesn't really matter since I can just cooking. I got the assassination. But the assassination was cool. Pick me up, bud. Alright, good teamwork. I'm coming. I'm learning.
I think we finish off this second badge and we're gonna call it there.
Yep. I was gonna try and just run through that door. Guys, need help? That's on me. Got any people stuff. This is gonna be fucking miserable, I can already tell. What the hell is that noise? Oh, come on. You little asshole.
Cool. think that counted. Cool. 6 more. And then that. And we'll be done.
Where are we at?
Greetings, members. We've once again found ourselves in need of exterminators. Proceed to the designated site and put an end to these pests. That is all.
You guys are looking at me. Pick me up.
Signal detected. Activate additional signal sources to initiate extermination protocols.
Big guy?
I didn't realize there's still somebody up here. I got attention. Please.
There we go.
I got you.
All array components engaged. Activating targeting protocols. Please stand by.
There we go.
Issuing user notice. Signal connection unavailable. Amplitude restore requested.
Around this corner. Okay, we're looking pretty good though. Flank. You guys are looking at it.
User intervention required. Temperature error detected. Please approach array component immediately.
Component.
Users, jam detected. Mechanical intervention required.
Limiter turret.